A Way Out is a video game about two convicts that need to work together to escape a prison. This game was released back in 2018 by Hazelight Studios, and then obviously then it's I believe published by EA. Set during the kind of Vietnam era, the story follows the tale of two convicts, Vincent and Leo, and how they have to work together and overcome their differences to escape prison, and exact vengeance on a man known as Harvey, who has essentially backstabbed the two of them, and they need to work together to escape, take down Harvey, and essentially return their lives to normal. This game absolutely killed me, in a good way. This game absolutely broke my heart, and really kind of shattered it, really. A Way Out is a co-op only game. This game released back in 2018, and it's a co-op only game, so you have to have someone else to play it with. You cannot play this game solo. You have to have a friend. So me and Alex worked our way through this one very recently. Just finished it yesterday, as of recording this video. And yeah, absolutely emotional roller coaster all the way through. The game is heart wrenching at times, and the ending absolutely killed me as well. So yeah, I wanted to make a video about A Way Out. I'm aware this game now is obviously quite a few years old, and it's not really relevant anymore. But I've always wanted to give it a go and play it, and we finally managed to wrap it up yesterday, and it was really, really enjoyable all the way from start to finish. This game is just a cinematic adventure from beginning to end, and it's really, really fun. The environments that you get to play in, obviously obviously the first one being the prison, because that is the basis of the game, A Way Out. There's lots to do. Obviously, you can just straight up go for the main objectives if you really want to, and just like pile drive straight through the story. But there are so many little nooks and crannies and different little things to do in mini games and stuff if you just explore even just a little bit. And you can find so many different things to do, so many different people to speak to, so many different mini games to play. And the game follows you then through a series of environments, obviously following throughout the story. As you can see from the gameplay on screen, it doesn't look like a game where you break out of prison. That's because at this stage of the game, me and Alex had actually broken out and were now in the chapter known as fugitives. So the police were aware that we were out of the prison. There was a manhunt going on for the two of us. We were in the middle of nowhere in a forest trying to fend for ourselves, and essentially trying to put as much distance between us and the police as we could. So at this stage in time there, Leo and Vincent, they're trying to get fish, they're trying to get something to eat because they've been on the run for like hours at this point, and they're trying to essentially get back to society so they can start building a plan to exact vengeance on Harvey, the main kind of antagonist of this game, if you will. So it's a co-op focused game. You'll see in a minute here, for example, one of us, we both need to get our own fish. So I'm on the right, Alex is on the left. So I'm going to have to stand there and wait to stab the fish. Alex needs to go around and splash the water to get the fish to come towards me. So there's a lot of moments like this in the game where you need to work together. And it's always from this split screen perspective where you can see what the other person is doing. The only time that changes is when there are major important cutscenes going on for one or both of the characters, so it takes up the whole screen, or in certain chase scenes where the game will change perspectives between the two of you. So for example, there's a scene later on where Vincent is running, he's trying to escape, and it follows him for a bit, and my side, so I was playing as Leo, at no point was I on the screen, and then what happens is it would change the perspective, very cinematically as well, I might add, to myself, and then it would show me running, and then it would bounce back to Vincent again to see where he was, and then it would bounce back to Leo again, which was my character, and show where I was, and it would do this bouncing back and forth perspective until we both kind of met in the middle, and then it would be back to split screen again, where we could see what the other person was doing as well as ourselves. So this split screen perspective is very, very interesting, especially because we're playing it online, so they could have just done it where you just have your screen for, like, Leo gets his screen, Vincent gets his screen, you don't actually get to see what the other person's doing, but this split screen perspective is through the entire game, which I quite liked. It gave that kind of almost like that couch co-op kind of vibe, even though we weren't in the same place because we were playing this online. And it's really nice to be able to see what your co-op partner's doing and things like that as well, because I could be doing something like really dumb, for example, and then Alex would be playing Vincent and be speaking to someone or doing a cutscene, and I can watch that while I'm just chilling, and vice versa. But the game is really, really good. It's not too heavy on gameplay. A lot of this game is just kind of walking around, basic puzzles, exploration, and dialogue. That is a lot of what the game is kind of made up of. There are a few decisions along the way that you get to make. A lot of occasions will stop and pause and let you choose between either Vincent's way of doing things or Leo's way of doing things. Now, usually, Vincent's way of doing things is more quiet, more reserved, less likely to draw attention, whereas Leo's way of doing things is usually louder, more brash, and more aggravated. So, for example, later on after this area we were in, we got to a farm. There were two options to get the old couple out of the house because we needed to get a change of clothes, because obviously at this stage we still look like convicts. You could either sneak into the house and take them out, so knock them out, or you could find a way into the stable and release the horses to get them to go after the horses instead. Me and Alex both opted for Vincent's way of doing things, which was the horse idea. Obviously, if you opt for Leo's way of doing things, you will then sneak into the house, presumably, and then have to knock them out quietly. That's not the way we did things. We decided to do the horse route. There's an area later on where, for example, you're robbing a gas station because you need cash. You can either go in guns blazing, which is Leo's idea, or you can do it Vincent's way, where you quietly go in, kind of scope things out to see what you're dealing with, and then start the robbery instead. Again, at this stage, we opted for the quiet option, which was Vincent's idea. So we went in, Alex had the gun, I obviously didn't because I'd given it to her, and then we're kind of scoping out how many people are in here, where the phones are. So I sabotaged the phone line so no one could call the police as quickly, and then you kind of see then what you're dealing with. So there's a lot of moments like that where you and your co-op partner have to pick on a decision. The game will not pick for you, and you have to come to an agreement on something. You cannot just pick opposites because the game will not let you do that. You have to come to an agreement. So you have to kind of work with your co-op partner and make a decision on which way you're going to do things. The other cool thing about this game that I really like is that there is some gunplay. This is more so towards later in the game, but there is some very basic cover mechanics, rolling, aiming down sights, reloading, etc. The gunplay plays absolutely fine. It's nothing spectacular. You know, you're not going to be like playing this game and being like, oh, this feels really realistic, because it doesn't. But it does the job. You know, the cover works absolutely fine. The rolling works fine. The aiming down sights and accuracy and things works absolutely fine as well. And there are quite a few different weapons you are allowed to use. You get the kind of choice as you go, and then later on you get a choice then again if you want to swap weapons midway through. So you're not kind of restricted to just one. So for example, I started with an MP5. Later on then I swapped to a pump action shotgun and used that then for the rest of the game, whereas Alex opted for, I believe she was using an M16, so she was just using a burst fire assault rifle, and she just stuck with that for the entirety of the game. There are a few driving sections as well. Again, these control absolutely fine. I think I never actually got to drive. Every single driving scenario was Alex. I was always in the back trying to hold off whoever was chasing us. So I was always the shooter. She was always the driver. But it seemed to be fine. I mean, I didn't see any issues personally. She did crash once or twice and get us caught, but you just restart checkpoint and go again, and it's absolutely fine. I just want to say as well, while we're on the little cutscene here, that the voice acting in this game is really, really good. You know, they portray their emotions very, very well. You know, you can instantly tell that Vincent is the kind of calmer, more educated, more kind of, you know, because he's older than Leo, you can sense that kind of maturity, whereas Leo then is more brash, he's younger, he's more likely to lash out and do things his way, so you can kind of really get that between them. I like how they bounce off each other, because they're two very different men. Their personalities are completely different, they just happen to be in the same kind of situation, but I like how they work off each other. I like how their personalities bounce off and rub off on each other, and it's really nice throughout the game where they get closer and closer and almost develop this kind of friendship, albeit a forced friendship because they have no other choice, they have no one else they can rely on, but friendship nonetheless. Now, moving on from that, the soundtrack as well to this game is really good. Even the main menu theme is just really nice to listen to. So I really enjoy the soundtrack of the game as well. Every track that plays is really, really good. All of the environments look really good as well. No bugs, no glitches, no like issues at all while we've been playing this at all. And it's a really, really kind of good, kind of quick. It's only like a 6 to 8 hour game. You can smash it out really quickly in one sitting if you wanted to. It's a really good cinematic, story-driven experience. Now, what I am going to just talk about now, this is kind of major spoilers. I know this game did come out in 2018, but I want to talk about this as well. So major spoilers, if you for some reason haven't played this game or you're just trying to avoid full-on spoilers, this one's a major one. Like, this is probably the biggest spoiler in the game, so I would recommend clicking off the video now. If not, and you've already played the game, or you simply don't care about spoilers, as I was just saying, obviously, these two bounce off each other really well, their personalities rub off on each other, and they work really well, kind of the back and forth, like I said. And like I said, they develop this kind of almost forced friendship, to the point where they're actually almost kind of like good friends by the end of the game. This makes the ending to this game all the more heart-wrenching when we finally discover that Vincent is an undercover cop. Leo was at a diamond deal that went wrong. This got Vincent's brother killed in action, and Vincent's gone out of his way to go undercover to kill Harvey first and foremost, and then on top of that then to arrest Leo and rearrest him and put him in prison. It's an absolutely heartbreaking ending. It absolutely sucks because you've gone this whole game and Leo has already been backstabbed once by Harvey. So to get then backstabbed again by Vincent right at the end as well is even more heart-wrenching again. And at this point, the game does not end. It continues, but you are no longer working together. You are working against each other. So Vincent will chase Leo. Leo is in a boat trying to get away. It's up to Vincent to keep shooting to damage the durability, whereas the person playing as Leo needs to keep driving as fast as they can, and it results in a 1v1 showdown with MP5s, where it is literally just a third-person shootout between the two of you. Whoever gets lower on health tends to lose, and then we get this cutscene then of back and forth where we're hitting each other, getting flashes of each character's past. So Vincent gets to remember the fact that obviously he's had a newborn baby with his wife Carol. Leo remembers, being in the house and looking after his kid Alex, and it just results in one or the other has to die. There is no way that a way out ends where both Leo and Vincent get to walk away. In our game, Alex let me win. She straight up just let me pile drive her with MP5 rounds, and let me win the gunfights and let me win the cutscenes as well, because she wanted to see that ending. Essentially what happens is Vincent dies. He's written a letter to Carol apologising for all of his flaws. He asks Leo to give this letter to Carol. Leo manages to escape. Fast forwards a few months, I presume. He goes to the house. He puts the letter on the doorstep. He does not have the heart to face Carol. Obviously, being a wanted man as well, he can't take the risk. She reads the letter, obviously with her and Vincent's newborn baby, and obviously starts crying because she knows, obviously, he's never coming back. Leo then meets up with his wife, Linda, and his child, Alex, and they flee the country. They're staying in a motel. She's already ready to go with the kid, and they literally flee the country, and Leo's just gonna run from the States and never look back, essentially. Presumably, I don't know what the other alternative ending is. If you want to see that ending, you'll have to play the game for yourself. But I presume it goes something along the lines of Leo will obviously die instead of Vincent, and Vincent then will go to Linda, explain what's happened. She will probably hate him because she hates police anyway, and obviously he was an undercover cop who backstabbed her husband. And then Vincent then will get to live then with Carol and raise his newborn with her together. Either ending sucks. Both endings are heartbreaking because either way, a woman and child have to lose their father and their spouse. So obviously if Leo dies, Linda loses her husband and Alex loses her dad. If Vincent dies, then his newborn baby will never get to know him and Carol will lose her husband. So either way, both endings are absolutely heartbreaking. And it sucks because they didn't have to go that route. They could have gone like a far happier route, or they could have even gone with Vincent is a criminal and you both just end up getting thrown back in prison right at the end of the game. Or they could have gone the route where Vincent is a cop, but because of everything he's seen, where he's met Leo's family and he's seen the circumstances that this man is in and he understands why he's doing what he's doing as a criminal, they either commute or just get rid of his sentence, give him a clean slate and try and get him a job or something, maybe even working for the Force because he knows the ins and outs of the criminal world a lot better than they do, and give us a happier ending. But they opted against that. They opted for the heart-wrenching ending, which is you've both worked with each other up until this stage to get out and escape. You've now got to work against each other, and one of you has to put the other down, and that is the end of the game. And that is why A Way Out broke me. It absolutely killed me. It's a heart-wrenching ending. It's a heartbreaking end to a video game. But the journey along the way, the cinematic adventure from environment to environment, conversation to conversation, chase to chase, puzzle to puzzle is really, really good. And I look forward to playing more games like this. It was a really nice change of pace. If you're looking for something genuinely just kind of chill to play with a friend or a loved one maybe, or even your kids, I would say maybe, if they're not too young. Because this game isn't that complicated. It's quite simple and quite self-explanatory for the most part. So if you've got like a teenager and you want to kind of like game with them, then I would say this game would be great because it's not too over the top. Like I think it's like 16 plus maybe. Or if you've got like a loved one, you've got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever, and you want to play something like chill with them, or maybe they're not really into gaming, but they want to kind of get into your hobby a little bit more so they can feel like they appreciate it a little bit more, then this is a perfect way to introduce someone who's not really a heavy, massive gamer into kind of the world of gaming, and it's nice and chill. It's not like over the top, you have to be super good at games. It is for the most part, a cinematic driven adventure where you're just kind of, you're at the steering wheel. But that is A Way Out. This game brought me. I honestly do highly recommend this game to anyone that hasn't played it. If you've got a friend who wants to play it, or like I said, a loved one or something like that, it's a really, really good game. Absolutely incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if I could forget it and play it again, I absolutely would. But it's a really good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think you would as well. But that is it for me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you have played A Way Out, who your favourite character is between Leo or Vincent, and who do you think was in the right, and who do you think was in the wrong come the end of the game. Do you think Vincent was right in his motives to backstab Leo, or are you taking Leo's side because you understand his circumstances and you think he deserved kind of to not get fucked over, essentially, as it were. Also, very quick, just some important IRL notes. There have been no streams this week. That's simply because I've not been at home. I've been at Alex's house because we've been celebrating our 6-year anniversary. We've been together 6 years now. So I've been at her house, therefore I haven't been able to stream, but the streams will resume next week as normal, so you can expect to see me live on Tuesday. That's the only reason there were no streams this week. But again, hope you've enjoyed the video. Much love as always, guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And like I said, comment down below who you prefer between Leo or Vincent. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video next week. Or failing that, obviously I may see you in Tuesday or Thursday streams as well. Other than that, guys, take care as always. Much love, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.